Good morning, you badass motherfuckers. It's the results. Kill excuses. The morning drinking show. I'm your host, Greg. Calming the fuck down now. Calming the fuck down, man. How's everybody doing, man? We doing life today. We doing life. We getting back on here. We getting back on this motherfucker once again. Continue to break people along the way, right? Because we all want to be what? Reassured, right? We all want to feel confident in our bullshit. When we bullshit ourselves, we bullshit others, right? That's when my life started to change. Real talk. When I really, truly started to get honest with myself, right? See myself for who I was, knowing I was bullshitting myself, right? Lying to myself, right? Are you lying to yourself right now? Right? What are you lying to yourself about? Let's just be honest. Let's start there. There's probably nobody on earth that isn't lying to themselves just a teeny weeny little tiny bit right now. Just a little bit. Just little white lies, right? Everybody's doing something to deceive themselves, to manipulate themselves, right? In order to do what? Hold yourself back, right? In order to not give yourself permission to do something new, try something new, end something that ain't doing you no good. So here we are. Happy solstice. Shining brightly. Longest day of the year, right? And again, if you've watched this show for any duration of time, I don't get caught up, man. I don't get caught up whether it's the longest day of the year, the shortest day of the year, Christmas cheer, holidays, this day, that day. Guess what? It's life. It's life. That's the greatest gift. If you're waking up right now, there is so much to be grateful for. And sometimes we just need to breathe, right? Just breathe. Give ourselves a pat on the chest. Give ourselves a little bear hug, right? And affirm ourselves for saying, hey, look, you're doing life. And we can be honest if we could be honest with who we were yesterday, right? What we do yesterday. Yesterday was Tuesday, right? Did we eat healthy? Right? Did we spend some time meditating, connecting with spirituality, journaling, reflecting, right? Visualizing a better future, visualizing a path forward from where we're at right now, right? Did we spend time exercising to any degree, right? Did we spend time learning new things, right? Did we spend time yesterday going out trying to make a difference in this world, right? It's that simple, folks. It's really that simple, but it's not easy. And I talk about that all the time. This shit is simple, but it's not easy, especially if you're running programs. And all of us are running programs, and that's what makes it so confusing. Is because you could be sitting here watching this, letting this message touch you, right? In a way where you're like, damn, is this guy right? Does he know what the fuck he's really talking about? And then before you know it, you go about your day, right? And there you are. You're doing you. You're caught up. You're right back in the patterns. Same language style, same communication style, right? Same eating habits, same laziness in terms of, do you really want to get in some exercise today? Do you really want to learn some new things? Do you really want to do something that's challenging? Do you really want to, you know, go and make amends with somebody? Do you really want to spend some time processing some emotions, right? That are inside of you, that are holding you back, keeping you down, keeping you at this low vibration, right? Do you really want to change up your habits, your patterns? Because that is what makes you who you are, right? We listen a lot about consistency, but everyone is consistent. You're consistent at whatever it is that you are experiencing right now, right? That's your consistency. If you want something new to start growing and producing results in your life, guess what? You have to start brand new, and then build for an extended period of time consistency. Whether it's a long day or a short day or a weekend or a holiday, right? Those are irrelevant when it comes to truly understanding that every single day that you are given life, right? If your health matters to you, if fitness matters to you, if having energy matters to you, right? If feeling your best matters to you, right? If being honest matters to you, if having better relationships matters to you, if having more healthy experiences where you don't just got to go somewhere to get drunk, right? Make an ass of yourself and wake up the next day feeling like shit. If that matters to you, right? If having more financial success matters to you, if having more purpose, meaning, fulfillment in what you do during your job or the work you do, right? If any of that shit matters to you, right? Then you have to put in a shit ton of effort to break the patterns of old, the version of who you were. And that's where we need to really empower ourselves to realize that you can do anything you desire. But most people are their biggest critics, right? You're going to criticize yourself more than I could ever criticize you, more than anyone else could ever criticize you. You will criticize yourself with what? Your self talk, your thoughts, the thoughts you have about this stuff. Because even when I start mentioning these areas of growth, right? And that is so essential here is having a growth mindset, having a mindset that says, look, I am willing to continue learning and growing each and every day for the rest of my life. And that sounds novel, but so many of us, if you really think about it, how many people hated school? You hated fucking going to school because you felt forced. And I get it. School sucks. Right? And I say that as someone that has what? A master's degree in business administration, 3 college degrees, right? Worked in higher ed for 6 years, building a nationally award-winning program, and then even went into the classroom, public education, elementary, 4th and 5th grade for 2 years, right? And I still believe that education, I don't believe learning sucks. I think school sucks. Education in its current form and modality is shit. The teachers are not inspired to teach. The children are not inspired to learn because everything is literally just memorization in order to pass tests. That's not inspiring. And I'm someone that wish, that is something on my board, my dream, my vision board is I want to be that person. That in 100 years from now, 200 years from now, if I could be the revolutionary of education, and that doesn't mean overthrowing education in classrooms. No, that means building something so much better than what exists now that truly teaches children from the earliest age to develop a relationship with self first, teach ourselves how to create healthy boundaries, how to communicate our needs, our wants, but how to even address those things. Those, like, we all know it, that the true lessons of life are usually learned by hardship. That the shit we're learning, we don't need to learn about Christopher Columbus, right? Well, there's all this fighting about whose history we get to learn about, whitewash history or colored history or minority history. What does any of that shit matter? Let's be honest with you. How many people do you know that are applying the lessons of history to their actual daily life? Very, very fucking few. And yet we're having a huge discord, right? In this country, division based on history. And who gets to dominate history? What do children learn? And isn't that the essence of the fucking problem right there? Isn't that the source of the biggest issue? We need to learn about ourselves from the very beginning. And we don't get that opportunity. I talk to people about this all the time, right? So that when I do ask that question, who are the top 3 people you love the most? right? If you're hearing this for the first time, who are the top 3 people you love the most? Most people, the massive majority, 80% plus of people usually are perplexed because it's like, I got 4 kids and you said only 3. I don't want to leave out little Susie or little Johnny. It's like you fail because even when I mention they fail, right away people know, oh shit, it's me. I'm supposed to be number 1. But then that's selfish, right? That's terrible. Because again, I think that's all programmed. That's the design. Can we believe in this shit? The matrix separation from self is somehow dependency on something else. When I think this whole entire experience is connected to your connection with who you are mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically, those 4 pieces. Because then it's like you don't worry about a bullshit. I was having this talk with my kids on Father's Day. We were laughing it up. Right? I think my son, we were talking about something about politics. He's like, "Did you vote for Trump?" I was like, "Man," and my daughter knew. She's like, "What? Dad don't vote no more." And he's like, "What? Really? You didn't vote?" I was like, "Nah, man. I don't vote. I'm done. I'm done with the bullshit." Right? I'm tired of people saying that they got the solutions to our problems, and the ball just keeps going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And what happens? What happens? We just switch out this team for that team, and it's just back and forth, back and forth. And guess what? No problems get solved. Real fucking problems do not get solved. They just get worse. And I'm always someone that says, look, if the people that are telling you they can solve your problems don't solve the problems, then guess what? They are the problem. They are the problem. It's that easy. But we were laughing about the politics, right? And how so many people focus on that. It's like it is such a big deal. But it's just another distraction from connecting with yourself. You would be so much better to turn that bullshit off. CNN's, Fox News, MSN, whatever the fuck you're watching. Turn that shit off, right? Oh my God, I need to know every single thing about every single thing. No, you don't. You really don't. But again, that's a program because it disconnects you from yourself. Do you know how much more peaceful, happy, joyful, right? And even accomplished you'd be if you turned off the sports, the entertainment, the politics, the distractions, and really just started to figure out, what do you love? What do you hate? What do you want? And why? Why? Right? What do you love? What do you hate? What do you want and why? Right? You want world peace? Right? Then find internal peace. The world will never be peaceful until you have peace within. Right? You want more love? You want more unconditional love? You want people to be kinder to you, more loving, more sincere, more committed to you? Guess what? Be more loving, be more kind, be more sincere, be more committed to who? You, yourself. Right? You want to be happier? Right? Go find people that are funny, hilarious, entertaining. No. That's not how it works, people. That's not how it works. If you want to be happier, you have to really accept yourself. And I challenge people, it's not about being happy because no one can just be ha ha ha, he, ho 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 all day long. It don't exist. And the funny motherfuckers out there are usually the ones hurting the most. We see this time and time again. There's a lot of comedians that kind of came up in the era of like the 80s, the 90s, right? A lot of them kill themselves, right? Why? They're celebrities. They're millionaires. I mean, they could buy anything their heart's desire, go anywhere their heart's desire, go on vacation, do whatever. They make other people laugh, right? But inside, that's like a telltale sign that something's wrong on the inside because it's, you're externalizing this humor to overcompensate for the pain and the suffering and the emotional discomfort that's happening on the inside, right? So it's a survival mechanism, because the ultimate thing for us to try and achieve is peace. What does peace mean, right? Peace is not like positive energy and it's not negative energy. It's neutral, right? It's saying that when you wake up, you're grateful. And when you go to bed, you're grateful and you're at peace. You don't have to sit there and process all day about all the decisions you could have done different and the conflicts you had. And if you would have wordsmith, if you would have said this way or that way, then maybe someone would have liked you more or not rejected you or been more accepting, or you wouldn't have been like, we sit there. So many people sit there in the middle of the night and they can't stop their fucking heads from spinning, right? Because you're not at peace. You are not showing up as your truest self. You're wearing masks. And so you're sitting there trying to like manipulate yourself on how to act with certain people to do what? Gain their acceptance. That's what we want that. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to be accepted by people, right? To feeling like we belong to something other than ourselves. That is the second greatest gift. I talk about this often. Greatest gift, life. Second greatest gift is connection. But see, so many of us, right, we're faking it. We're faking it till we make it, right? We're wearing masks because we don't really want to sit in our truth. We don't really want to sit in our emotional trauma and our pain and really get to the core of what do you really desire? We're afraid of our desires. We've been trained to think there's something wrong with us. That if we could just be accepted by this person or this group, that then everything's going to be okay. And we know that isn't how it works. Acceptance into a group only lasts for so long. Acceptance by a person only lasts for so long because, again, there's always an exchange, right? Very few people do things just unconditional love, man. Where it's like, hey, I'm showing up for you. I'm doing for you. I am communicating with you. I'm giving you my most valuable resource, which is my time and my attention. And you ain't doing shit in return for me, right? I'm just giving that. And I'm giving that and I'm giving that. And unfortunately, a lot of people are just takers, man. Take, right? Because their own well is dry. So they need to they need to literally, they're energy vampires. They need to grab someone else's energy. Are you an energy vampire? A lot of us, it's very subtle, right? But we manipulate other people because we want their energy. There's something inside of them that we want that we lack inside of ourselves, or that we feel we lack. And the truth of the matter is you don't lack anything. You have everything you need right now. Right now. You could be fat and overweight. You could be broke and unemployed, right? You could be spiritually bankrupt, right? You could be morally bankrupt. You could be totally down and out. And guess what? You have everything you need to totally turn it all around. How do I know this? Right there, man. Bottom. Rock motherfucking bottom. Real talk. That's the rock bottom, man. And most people can't handle that shit because we don't want to address and work on ourselves. Most of us are looking for someone else to be our project. We can put more effort and energy and focus into someone else because, again, we're lying to ourselves that somehow we're okay. We ain't got caught. We ain't been busted. We the light hasn't shined bright enough to really out us for all our bullshit. So as long as we continue to pretend that we're the fixer, right? We're the healer. We're the person that's got answers to people's problems. We don't got to deal with our own shit because we feel like we somehow have a purpose, that people keep coming to us to solve their problems. And it makes us feel like we're doing something. But at the end of the day, if we ain't solving our own, right? then it's all bullshit. And eventually it will come, right, to fruition, right? The fact of the matter, it will come to fruition. And it's interesting because I see that in some dynamics with people that I'm working with right now. And it's hard, right? It's hard to have people that you have to be honest with, that you have to truly tell them, here's what's really going down. I see the dark side. I see the manipulation. I see the bullshit. And I'm going to call it what it is. Because, see, here's the thing. Here's what's really powerful that's happened in my life, right? I'm not afraid to be alone. Thus, I don't need to bullshit people to keep them in my life, right? And what's even more powerful is that when you're operating from a place of transcendent, right? And you're operating from a place in your heart that's unconditional, right? When you do things unconditionally, guess what? You don't need nothing in return. And there's very few people that know how to sit in that, to truly become the best version of themselves. That when you're interacting with people, when you're giving, it's out of an abundance. But there are also times in this healing journey where I've learned to create boundaries and shut motherfuckers off, right? Because again, I have a high, extremely high standard for myself first, right? And for those around me. And it's been beautiful that even in this season right now, we're very proud here at the Mystic Santa Fe, right? Look it up, themysticsantafe.com. We have finished our project. Our project is finished, right? But that doesn't mean the work's done. But we're in this amazing state right now where we are attracting, right? We're not chasing after people. We are attracting some beautiful, beautiful people, chefs, pastry chefs, right? Bartenders, servers, right? Front desk staff, just you name it. We are attracting beautiful people as we have this whole entire time, but we're building out this whole new team. And as someone that's sober, for me to then be also managing a bar, like I am setting such a fucking high standard for the people that are coming here. We're not going to play bullshit. We're going to literally have everyone has to sign, right? A code of responsibility, right? Because this ain't going to be a place you come to get fucked up. I want people to be responsible. I want people to have fun. I want this to be a hip, cool place, which it is. But this is not going to be the place that you come to get fucked up. We don't even got TVs here. This ain't a sports bar. This is a sexy place, man. And it's going to attract sexy people. But again, we have a high standard here because one, we care about ourselves. Two, we care about others, right? And we're going to do adult things in a responsible manner. And you know how hard that is, but it's also refreshing when I can speak with clarity to vendors and distributors and people wanting to partner with us and say, look, we ain't fucking around here. I don't care. This is going to be our reputation. You either take it or leave it. You either subscribe to our values, to our culture, to our mission, and to our vision, or we go without you. Right. And we reinforce that every single day, but that takes a very clear sense of confidence and me understanding who I am and where I'm going and what I'm willing to tolerate, because I don't need other people the way most of us do, right? I'm attracting the people, right, that can be a part of this in a positive way. But those people that are not ready to put in the work, ready to align themselves with our culture and our philosophies and our standards, right? They can go do their thing. Go find the other place that isn't going to hold you to that higher standard, right? And it's like yesterday in rounds of meetings and interviews and all this stuff, I can't tell you how many people were refreshed by having some real leadership, some real confidence, with some real clarity and some real guidelines to say, this is who we are. Does this work for you or not? And most people are like, oh man, where have you been? I had a guy like 40 years of being a chef, and we're interviewing one of our finalists, and he's our consultant. And as I'm just speaking my truth as to what we are doing here and who we are, this consultant is like, where have you been all my life, man? Why couldn't you have been around 30 years when I was just getting started? Right? When you hear someone say that, it's because there's something different going on, right? That maybe that person wouldn't have got burnout. And that's one of the things we're trying to avoid is really value and see people for who they are. They're not just tools. You're not just a tool when you go to work. You need to be seen as a person because you probably got persons attached to you. You probably have responsibilities that matter. And for you to be in an unsafe environment from an emotional standpoint where you can't like ask for a day off, where you don't feel safe to say, hey, can I leave early to go pick up my kid or go get my dog? Do whatever you need to do. Feel supported. Because the more supported you feel, especially in the workplace, right, the better job you're going to do. The more valued you feel. You feel seen, you feel heard. We want this even in our intimate relationships. We want it in our family relationships. That's dysfunctional. And it's really difficult to cultivate that in a family dynamic. But here in a professional work environment, right? I'm the standard bearer, right? And people are magnetized to that now. And these are high quality people. And I'm excited to be partnering and teaming up with such incredible talent because we're going to continue to cultivate that magnet and people are just going to keep coming, right? And being attracted to this place. And here's the power is you can do that same thing. You can magnetize yourself, right? To attract the things that you truly desire. But it takes this journey of self-discovery, right? If you want someone to tickle your ears, to make you feel better about yourself, to make you feel like you're not a failure when you are failing at life, like I'm not here for that. I'm never going to do that with people. There's plenty of fake motherfuckers that will tickle your ears and tell you it's not your fault. It's okay. You're trying your best. You're trying your best. Just keep trying. Just keep trying your best. Don't give up. No. I literally had to tell someone today, they want reset. They want to figure it out, but it's wishy-washy because they're saying, hey, we got results, but then they're saying, hey, how do we get back on track? So I don't know which one it is. So I'm just going to go with what I believe it is, which it's all bullshit. And at the end of the day, I'm telling people, look, just fail. Fail. The sooner you can admit I have failed something, we're so afraid to fail. That's a huge fear, is it not? Used to be one of the biggest fears in my book, the fear of failure. And I would lie, I would manipulate, I would look to blame others, right? I would do all kinds of nasty shit in order to not have a perception that I am either a failure or I am failing at something. Because I didn't want what? To be rejected. I didn't want to feel like a loser. But one of the greatest things is when you can be honest with yourself and just say, you know what, I have failed. And I have failed myself. I have failed my family. I have failed my fucking partner. I have failed anything, my dog, my kids, my work, my employer, my friends, right? And at the top of the list, we've failed ourselves in so many ways. If you're not feeling your best, if you're not feeling inspired every single day to get better than who you were yesterday, you're doing life wrong right now. I'm just here to tell you that. You are doing it wrong if you do not have something inside of you saying, you know what? And the pattern, day in, day out, I want to improve, even if it's just a fucking half inch every day. But it takes honesty to say, how did I fuck up yesterday that I can be better today at? And if we can't get to that, how did I fuck up yesterday? How did I mess up? How did I screw up? And it could be small shit, just that in an interaction where you maybe told the white lie, where you maybe lost your cool, where you lost your composure, where you weren't as kind as you wished that people would be to you, right? And in that, you have to have honesty with yourself to say, hey, I failed. I failed. But that doesn't make you a failure because you wake up the next day. If you are so blessed And you can say, you know what, I'm gonna work on that. The next time it pops up, I'm mindful of it, I'm aware of it, and I'm ready to improve it. And it helps if you write it down. If you say, hey, this went down yesterday, this is how I behaved, I now choose to behave differently, here's how I see myself behaving, that's a better version of who I was. You start to really invest in your patterns. And all of this takes work. It's not really that hard of work. It just takes focus, presence, and a game plan to say, I'm going to show up and do it. I'm going to do life. And most of us don't want to do that. You just want autopilot. Today's summer. Yay, longest day of the year. It's summer. How many of y'all are really proud of who you are in the mirror? Right? Take off that shirt. Put on that bikini. Put on them board shorts. How many of you are truly proud of who you are? Right? And if the answer is I'm not that proud, I know I wish I could look better, feel better. Right? Well, what's stopping you from putting in the work that would get you the results of looking better and then ultimately feeling better about your physical body? Right? But most of y'all are more concerned about what? Social acceptance. So your social credibility matters more than your internal health and wellness, your personal health and wellness. A lot of you sell yourselves out. I was that way. I was a huge instigator, but I have sold myself out many, 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 many times to gain other people's acceptance. To not have a feeling of being rejected, abandoned, right? For having a feeling of I'm accepted, right? I'm a cool kid. I'm cool because I got lots of friends and I'm in lots of groups and I get invited to all the cool stuff, right? But if the results of all the cool invites is what? Overeating, overindulging, getting drunk, eating unhealthy. If that's the results, I'll do without it. If I don't have the discipline, right? Right. To know that, look, if going to those events means compromising on your own personal goals, your own personal health, right? If I don't have the discipline and the mindfulness to say, I'm going to eat before, I'm going to be able to hold and resist during, but still be social, still be present, right? If you don't have that willpower and that discipline, right? Because every time you go, the temptation comes, the urges come to just participate, because participation, and that's why it's so hard, participation in and of itself is you it's your non-communication way of showing that you are aligned with the group. Do you realize that? So when you participate in group functions, right, that aren't about health and wellness, right? We're not talking about a fitness class. We're not talking about an outdoors hiking class or an outdoor exercise class or whatever, right? I do a lot of group stuff. But when I do group stuff, ain't nobody getting drunk, high, and eating fucking shitty food, right? It's health and wellness focused. What people go and do after or before, that's on them. But I know that when I go into a group, that group is at least focused on being present, being healthy, being mindful, getting exercise, getting flow, moving the body together. And what we go do before and after, that's on them. But if you have to go to groups, right, that it's all about what? Just talking shit, overeating, right? Grazing and all kinds of unhealthy snacky poos, right? And a lot of this shit is done even in spiritual houses of worship. You go to spiritual house of worship, they got fat pills all over the place. I mean, donuts, right? That's like one of the biggest draws, ain't it? To go to church, you get free donuts. Who cares about a free donuts, man? That's just not gonna benefit your health and wellness, right? And it's kind of silly, right? That houses of worship, churches, like have to pander to their members with unhealthy food as an incentive to show up. Isn't that not the craziest thing? And what? You're going to think that what? I'm just part of the no fun club? Man, trust me, I have incredible, I am so full of life. What do you consider fun? He, ho, 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 getting drunk. Does it really, for you to have fun, do you got to be inebriated? Do you have to alter your mental state of being with alcohol, with unhealthy food, with getting high, with drugs, pills? Is that what it takes for you to be a healthy person, to have fun? For you to have fun, for you to do and be a part of a group, do you have to literally change your mental and emotional state of being? Right? Again, this is where the fucking rubber meets the road, and we got to get honest with ourselves. Longest day of the year, a lot of time to think. A lot of you need to separate, just pull back, turn off the tubes, turn off the distractions, get a fucking backpack, get a tent, get a sleeping bag, go out into the wilderness, whatever you need to do, go out into a cabin, no Wi-Fi, just fucking sit there, man, for a weekend. And just get a piece of paper and just start writing down, what do you love? This could be a simple list. What do you love? What do you love to do? Right? What do you hate? You need to realize what you don't like. Right? What do you want and why? Just writing down those very simple things is not easy, because you're going to want to edit. And that's what we do, right? You guys know what I'm talking about. How many of you remember ever taking like one of these personality tests or like one of these little quizzes, right, that kind of categorizes you, and you're trying to hack it? Because you answer, you read the question, and there's multiple choices, and it's like you want to identify with different ones, because in your mind, if you're with this group, you need to be this type, and if you're with that group, you need to be that type. And so you're like trying to figure out, well, what you want to know, what the answer is at the end. You want to manipulate it. I know, and maybe I'm talking to myself right now, and that's okay too, but I'm done manipulating shit like that. And I'm trying to inspire you to stop that shit too. Right? Conformity, acceptance. You need to conform to really getting to your truth. It is so freeing and so powerful when you can speak your truth. Right? And you know when you get to have that freedom, right, is when you can speak your truth to someone else, and it's your opinion. They could take it or leave it, but you're entitled to that. Right? But it's powerful because look, you can speak openly and honestly, and you get to that place where because there's not an attachment on whether this person accepts you or rejects you. They can take it for what it's worth. It's their life. You're invested in you. But you're going to be honest and be direct and be clear with other people, as opposed to manipulating, conforming, and even worse, compromising who the fuck you truly are. And a lot of us are sitting in that camp. Compromise. We have compromised who we are. We don't even know who we are. We're playing scared. Cancel culture, when you can see celebrities, business entrepreneurs get canceled, total businesses get destroyed, total people get destroyed based on like whether they subscribe to a social belief or not, right? That's destructive. That's some crazy shit, right? So what does that do? Does that make more people want to really subscribe to freedom of speech? No, it makes us fucking bzzz. Can't talk my truth. Don't want to get fucking canceled. Don't want to get deleted from the group, right? Even though knowing that if you were honest and the group did know you, and if they rejected you, you'd be okay with that. Because see, here's the cool thing, is that when you truly align with who your true self is, right? You may be rejected by society. You may be rejected by a group, by a club, by an individual, right? Maybe in terms of an intimate partner, but you will attract your soul tribe, the real people that are meant to help build you up, not people holding you back. And that's what so many of us are afraid of. So many of us are in expired relationships, right? And we're allowing it to be that way. I met someone the other day, and she was telling me that she was married, had 4 kids, married for like 6 years, and she never loved the guy that she married and had kids with. How many of you can be that honest? Like straight up, she didn't love the guy. It was an arranged thing. It was fucked, right? And she was literally just, she had so many fucking beliefs stacked on top of her truth, right? Because this person even now is sort of like not even sure if they're heterosexual, right? They're exploring other opportunities in life, but they were ingrained that you have to be a certain way, love a certain person, and do a certain thing in order to have what? Family acceptance, societal acceptance, right? And that's what so many of us are doing. We're bullshitting ourselves. We're afraid, right? And that's okay. Keep being afraid, man. I'm done being afraid, right? I'm not afraid because guess what? Whether you receive this message, whether it inspires you, whether it transforms you, I know it is touching people's lives. It's touching your lives, right? Do I need to have 1 million people on here? No. But I can see that. I can see that the truth and the refreshing clarity of this message could reach millions upon millions of people, right? Because a lot of people bullshit. And a lot of even influencers, they rarely talk about their flaws, their shortcomings, the way I do, right? Because I'm speaking from the heart, man. I ain't got to hide shit, man. You don't put that up there and be like, I'm trying to hide from you. I'm trying to bullshit you, right? I told you guys, I'm done bullshitting myself and I'm done bullshitting others because I believe who I am now. I know who the fuck I am. And I want you to discover who the fuck you are. Because here's the truth. You don't know. You don't know who you are. You could be something, you could be a world changer. You could be the person that completely transforms your community, your state, this nation, the whole entire world. You don't know until you truly get past the fear of failure, the fear of exposure, the fear of being an imposter. You get past all of that and you truly say, what is inside of you? What is inside of your mind, that vision? What is the desires of your heart? How do you align those two and merge them to truly just quit thinking about it and just start doing, man? Just start doing. But it has to come from the heart. Being heart-centered, that's what's helped me to truly become a better version of myself in this newest season, right? And I got a lot of momentum and we ain't stopping, man. We're gonna keep rolling every single day, right? I welcome you back. I welcome you here. I welcome you to reach out to me. But just know I ain't gonna pat no bottoms and I ain't gonna rub no tummies, and I'm not gonna tell you that it's not your fault and it's gonna be okay. That's not me, right? I'm gonna call you out. I'm gonna shine the light on your situation. I'm gonna hold your ass accountable, right? And I will cheer you on as you start accomplishing some real motherfucking results, because you know the drill. Results kill excuses. It's all on me.